Hi guys, this is Dr. Callahan for week 8, Monday, Algebra 2, Semester 2. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions for your warm-up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, you guys. So this is week 8. Your warm-up log is going to be due on week 9 Friday. So like I said before, make sure you guys have your warm-up boxes completed. Let's go ahead and take a look at your Math Excel because I generally assign the assignments every single week on Monday. Keep in mind that on Sunday, your Math Excel and also your quiz is due, but I'm going to open it right now. So that way, if you did not complete it, you can still complete it, but there's a 10 to 40% penalty. Okay, so it's actually just in a good way of habit of getting this done. So you don't have like the big snowball effect of having a ton of assignments due all at once right before the end of the semester. So let's go ahead and take a look at Math Excel. So if you have your browser, you just go to Washoe County School District Math Excel. And enter, and you'll get over here. Go to the first one that pops up. And then you're going to go down to sign in. You just use the same sign in information from your desktop for school. Go to Algebra 2. You don't go to Envision. You go to Math Excel, which is the second one. And once you are in there, we're going to go to Assignment Manager. And you should have week 7 right here. So let me go ahead and reassign that one. So that was your quiz. I'm going to go ahead and reopen that to 6-2. So it's reassigned. And then I'm also going to do the same thing for your homework, which is on adding and subtracting rational expressions last week. So you'll have that available to 6-2 as well. Okay, so then week 8, we're going to talk about solving rational expression. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this so you guys have that. So week 8, Algebra 2, Semester 2, solving rational expressions, and then this will be your homework assignment for this week. And generally, it's just 10 questions, which you still have the 10 questions here. And let me go ahead and see. Today is the 22nd. Do you guys know that today is 2/2/22, right? It's kind of an interesting little setup. And then it'll be due on the Sunday. So it'll be 2/27/2022. You guys have until 11 p.m. 3 different attempts. And save and assign. All right, so now you guys have the assignment given to you guys. So if you look under assignment, you should have the week 8. Go ahead and put on the last one. Week 8, right here at the very bottom. Let me move this up a little bit. 7. Oh, no, I don't want that. No. Very end. I'm just trying to like get this so that way it's like in order, and it got messed up out of order. And so I'm just trying to fix this. Let's see. Okay, now I think it's kind of in order, but not 100% in order. So give me one more second. Let's see if this will do that. Okay, now it's in order. All right, so you have your week 8 right here, and that is going to be due on Sunday by 11 p.m. All right, so let's go back to this. You have your YouTube channel, so anything that you've missed, you have. On Friday, you guys had a sub, so as long as you turn in your QR code and you watch the video, you will get the full 20 points for that. Now, on the other hand, if you didn't do that, then you have a 0, so you can still make it up. You just need to go to week 7 Friday. It's only an 11-minute video. Make sure you guys watch it and just show me the work, and then that's basically all that you have to do to raise your grade and make up for it. The longer that it's due, you have a penalty. It's 10 to 40%, so just keep that in mind. There are 31 videos right there, so every single day that we have in class, you guys have the video given to you guys. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and move on with today's stuff. So today we're going to start solving rational expressions. It's kind of a difficult topic. It's not super easy, but this is the last thing that we need to do before the end of this unit. So I will be collecting your guided notes, and I'll be issuing you guys a new one for the new unit. So what did you miss last class? Last class, you guys had the sub, and so you guys went over the ending of this worksheet right here. So make sure you guys watch that video if you have not done it yet. All right, so with that said, I'm going to have you guys take a look at week Tuesday's material. Today is our first day on solving rational expressions. I'm going to give you my notes, and then we're going to go ahead and play with this with a Kahoot, although I'm not sure I'm going to have time for that because class is a little bit shorter today. And so let's just get started with the notes here. So come on up, guys, and grab your guided notes. Grab a dry erase marker and a eraser right here. So go ahead and grab it. So remember, you can never have zeros in the denominators of a fraction. Why? Because if you put 6 over 0, it's just undefined. So you cannot have the 0 in the denominator of a fraction. So the first method that we're going to go over is if the rational has a proportion, meaning that there are 2 fractions, okay? Step 1, cross multiply each other, okay? So I'm going to do example number 2. I'm going to have you guys do example number 1. So let's cross multiply. When I cross multiply, I'm going to multiply that 3 with this one right there, and then I'm going to multiply that 1 with this piece right there. Okay, so I'm just going to cross multiply. When I do that, I have 3 times x, which is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12, equals to x squared plus 4x times 1, which doesn't change anything. Then step number 2. It's asking me to solve this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that 3 over to the right side and that 12 over to the right side. So I have a 0 on the left side, x squared. 4x minus 3 is a 1x. And then that 12 becomes a negative 12 because I'm moving it to the right side. Once you have this, remember, you're going to try to set it equal to 0 and put it into a parenthesis. So you gotta ask yourself, what times what gives me a negative 12, but when I add it together, it gives me a positive 1. Okay, and you have to have negative numbers because there's a negative 12 there. So the only 2 numbers I can think of is like 4 and 3, because the difference of 4 and 3 is a 1. Now comes the tricky part. Where do you put the negative number? Where's the positive number? Well, given the fact that that 1 is a positive, the biggest number, which is 4, has to be a positive, which means a 3 has to be a negative, okay? And then you just solve it. So x plus 4 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0. What is your x? Negative 4. What is your other x? Positive 3. And that's it. That is your answer. Step 3. Check for extraneous solutions. And what it means here is, does the x give you a 0 in the denominator? Question mark. If any of these give you a 0 in the denominator, you cannot use it because it will give you a 0. You can't have a 0 in the denominator. Well, let's check 3. If I put 3 here, 3 plus 4 is 7. That's not 0. If I put 3 into the first equation or the first fraction, nope, still not 0. 3 is good. So I'm going to keep 3. Now let's take a look at x equals -4. If I put a -4 plus 4, you see how that's going to give me a 0? Can't use that. So what does that mean? That's not even one of your answers. So the only one that works is x equals 3. Okay. And you have to check now, because if you don't check it, then you're going to include both. And that's not correct. It's just one answer. Okay. Okay. So now that I did number 2, I want you guys to try number 1. So give that a try. If you're done with example 1, take a look at my steps right there, you guys, and see if yours is similar to that. All right, let's take a look at example 3. For example 3, it says method 2, okay? And with this one, what it's asking to do is you're going to factor, well, actually, in this case, factor all the denominators, which in the bottom, it's all factored. Find the lowest common denominator. Multiply each term by the lowest common denominator. And then solve the equation. So 6 different steps, okay? So let's take a look at this. Your denominator is x, 2, and x. So if you think about it, okay, what is your lowest common denominator? It'll just be 2x, right? So then what are they missing? First fraction, I'm missing a 2. So I multiply 2 top and bottom. Second fraction, I'm missing an x. So multiply x, top and bottom. Third fraction, I'm missing a 2. So multiply 2 top and bottom. Now that I multiplied by the 2, let's rewrite this, okay? I'm going to have 2 times 3, which is a 6 over 2x, minus 1 times x is an x over 2x. 12 times 2 is a 24 over 2x. Now what you're going to do is you're going to combine the yellow fraction right there on the left side. So I get a 2x on the bottom, 6 minus x equals 24 over 2x. Now, doesn't that just look like the last example where now you have one fraction on the left side and another fraction on the right side? Yeah. So what do we do in that situation? we cross multiply. But in this situation, since both the fractions are exactly the same, okay, because they're exactly the same, this is gonna look a little bit weird. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna take the numerator and you're just gonna set the numerator to each other. So you have 6 minus x equals 24. I know you're thinking like, well, why did we do that? Why didn't we just cross multiply? You can, if you cross multiply, you guys, look, you get 2x times 6 minus x equals 2x times 24. But then guess what? Couldn't you just cancel all the 24 or 2x on both sides? And then you're still left with 6 minus x equals 24. So you're kind of just back to where we are now. So just cross out the denominator and just pretend it's not there. Set the numerator equal to each other. So now let's go ahead and solve for this. So I have negative x equals 24 minus 6 is going to give me a 18. Positive x equals negative 18. And that's your answer. Last one is make sure your answer does not make the denominator 0. And in this case, it's not. So your answer is just negative 18. And that's how you solve rational expressions. Okay, let's take a look at example 4 and example 5. I'm going to go over example 5, so I'll probably have you guys do example 4. Okay. All right, so let's try example 5. Okay, so you have, do you see how this 4 is over a 1? You have like that fraction right there. We got to make it so it's the same lowest common denominator. Lowest common denominator is just x plus 1. So your 4 is like a lonely person by itself. You got to multiply by the x plus 1 top and bottom. When you do that, and we're just going to go ahead and focus on the fractions on the right side, okay, the one I'm highlighting right there in orange, you're going to get 4x plus 4, because you have to distribute that 4 here and here, minus 5 over x plus 1, because you have the same denominator now. Well, what's 4 minus 5? Isn't that just going to give you a negative 1? There you go. Set it equal to, now focus in on your fraction on the left side in yellow. I'm going to set that equal to 5x over x plus 1. If they all have the same fraction, which they do right here in the denominator, you just cross that out. And then all you're going to do is you're going to focus on this equals that and solve that. What is your last name, my dear? Oh, you might want to grab the paper right here so you have it. All right, so let's solve this, you guys. 5x is equal to 4x minus 1. Well, you guys know how to solve this. We're just going to subtract the 4x on both sides. So 1x equals negative 1. X equals negative 1. And let's go ahead and check my equation. So looking at this, if I were to plug in negative 1 here, does that give me a 0? Yes, it does. So I can't even use that answer right there because it will give me a 0 in the denominator. So you're like, what's my answer? No solution. But you have to check, okay? Because if that is your answer results in you getting a 0 in the denominator, then it's undefined. It's just no solution. Okay, you just have to check. All right, now you guys try number 4 on your own.